if you were here. I guess it was last week for the live that got interrupted. All types of craziness. And then within maybe like an hour of that, there were some storms that came through too, and I completely lost power. So, yeah, just complete craziness across the board. But I was showing a few concepts from my book that could be helpful in really a variety of situations. I did not realize until I was looking online that there are a lot of like glow up guides and things like that out there. There are so many. And it's for a good reason because women are realizing, like, hey, we have been stuck in a certain thing, whether it's a certain hairstyle, a certain thought pattern, just all kinds of things that women have been stuck in, especially survival mode. And now they're like, hey, I got out. Well, and guess what the true bosses, the true leaders, the true amazing feminine women do? When they get out, they try to bring some people with them, okay? And I am a firm believer in that. Whether it's at a career and you get out of that bottom level, like bring people to the top with you. Whether it is something that's generational, poverty, something like that. If you get out, great, good for you, but bring some people with you. Firm believer in that. Well, that's probably, well, at least it's my assumption, that that's why all of these guides have been popping up everywhere because people are being super successful and bringing others with them, which I super love. I did not really think about it initially that everything in here are things that I've used across the board through my own life situations, whether that was going through a divorce or losing a loved one, changing jobs, changing cities, and having to find new friends, find a new hairstylist, find a new nail person. Like, those sound like small things, but it's really a big thing when you get comfortable and when you have a really good stylist and have really awesome friends to hang out with, have friends for your kids to hang out with. All of those moves can get really, really stressful and really crazy. So life can either go one way or another. It can be a great fresh start, new life, things are going so awesome, or it can be complete turmoil. I'm scared, I'm nervous, I don't know what to do here. Hello, welcome. So there are definitely a lot of different ways it can go, and this guide, I'm gonna just show you guys the cover part real quickly. Hello, I'm doing awesome. How are you? I'm showing the first star of the book. It's just Life Reset Cheat Code, and it has just some information. Oh, thank you so much. That's so sweet. I appreciate that. And it's initially just designed to be your next right step because we know life gets messy and we can either choose to stay stuck or stop the stuck with a reset. And it's a gross analogy, but I swear I think of it like being constipated. If you are full of poo and cannot get it out, you feel terrible. You feel stuck, like you feel awful for real. And it's the same thing with anything in life that you get congested with. If you don't move those things through, we are meant to be in flow, okay? Constant flow. So we are meant to be in flow. Yes, for sure. Put a comment on this live once it ends, and I will definitely go look you up and follow all that good stuff. Anyone, if you follow, I will follow back, check things out. I have not been on YouTube very long. I guess I was for a little point about maybe 2 years ago, and life got busy and life was lifing and pulled right back off. But I'm not super great at YouTube yet, but I don't do other social media. Like, I don't do Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or any of that. So I only do YouTube, and I'm learning it. But I have met so many freaking awesome people through YouTube, which I honestly did not expect. Different countries, different backgrounds. Like, a lot of the girls that have been on lives with me are like all over Canada, just different states in the US, like all over the place. So it's pretty cool that there are so many people, and I definitely love to look at videos from different places, especially places I want to travel to, all of that. Like, there's a lot of really cool stuff on YouTube. So anyway, the next right step is essentially just a series of steps that are things we can do instead of sitting there like in that stage of not knowing what to do next. some practical things that you can just go right into, do right away. It's just giving you the next right step so you're not staying stuck. You know people. I guarantee you have that auntie or that friend who has been stuck in the same stage forever, ever after. Like, you're like, okay, you've had the same hairstyle, same style overall. When I see you, it may have been a year since the last holiday or event, and you're still telling me the same sob story. Like, you're stuck, bro. I don't want to be that stuck person. I don't want you to be that stuck person either. So, there's just a lot of different things out here that are available for us to learn and apply really easily. I'm a big reader. I've read a lot of freaking books, like complicated books with school, easy books, personal development, all of that. Like, I super love it. So there's just information that comes from a variety of places that was all culminated to get things together. Oh my goodness, you guys are crazy town. 8.5 months. Well, you got a little longer for the baby to cook, okay? Baby's got to cook to full length. Otherwise, they gonna come out needing machines and all of that, which you do not want. But as the old folks would say, the advice I was given, I have 4 kids. I have a couple bonus kids too, but I had made, created 4 beautiful children. You get that baby out how you put the baby in. And I was like, that's like a gross thing to say, considering the person it was coming from. But yeah, get the baby out how you put the baby in. When you have a release of oxytocin, that's the nice way to say that. When you have a release of oxytocin, that is one of the things that gets labor rolling when the baby is ready, which is probably not yet, or it would be telling you. But when the baby's ready, that gets oxytocin rolling and is super smart. So, yes, just keep that in mind when it's time for a baby. Get that oxytocin rolling and get it out how you got it in. Plus, it does kind of make sense because after a baby, you can't really have that kind of fun for a little while. So, have the fun while you can, sis. Okay, so the first little lesson area is on reacting versus responding. And this is something that I did not learn early enough. Like, I wish that I had someone tell me this years and years and years ago, because it would have saved me a whole lot of drama, trauma, etc. by having some really bad reactions. Like, there have been times where I flew straight off the handle. Like, ask my kids, ask people that know me, like, I got receipts, okay? I used to fly off the handle about such small, silly things. Oh, thank you so much. That's very sweet. So life is going to happen. We know that. Like, the Bible will say it too. Like, there are always going to be things that we're going through, things that we are struggling with. Like, there are going to be struggles. It's never going to be perfect and easy. So when those things come up, because they will come up, we have a choice. Choice number one is essentially, in the moment, do we react or do we respond? So what are the difference between them? Like, what does it really look like? Reactive will look like impulsive, just whatever comes to mind. You're just doing whatever your instinct is. It's going to be impulsive, no strategy. Your emotions are essentially running the show. Emotions get to decide what you do, whether that's the emotion of anger, fear, or sadness. Emotions get to decide that. And it's usually results in things that you did not want. You got the result you did not want at all, and consequences potentially that you also did not want at all. No, definitely not on Instagram. I used to have Instagram and Facebook and all of that, but a couple years ago, I did what was supposed to be a 30-day detox from social media. And then I definitely did not get back on because I was like, wait a minute. Without this, I have time to read more books. I have more time for the gym and kids and all the like better stuff in my life versus who knows how long I was scrolling. Now I have like an app thing, well, not an app, it's built into my phone and it'll show the screen time. And I would love to know what the screen time looked like when I did have Instagram and stuff like that, because I swear, like, time would just like go away. It's like a weird vortex, kind of like in a casino where everything is like all the the sun doesn't show. So it's dark in there. You don't know what time it is. You don't know if you've been in there for an hour or 10 hours. Time just like slips away magically. I feel like Instagram is that for me because I could like scroll like, ooh, puppies, more puppies, cute kittens. Ooh, she's cute. Ooh, I like this. I like that. So Instagram is totally bad for me. Don't need Instagram. Yes. I do have like the email links, all of that for booking life coaching too, because I do have, well, I'm not quite finished yet. I have my psychology degree, but I'm also working on my master's in coaching. So I do have coaching sessions, stuff like that. But if you guys have like questions or anything like that, I don't care, put them on here. I'm old, so I've got that wisdom. Like the sparkle is sparkle. I call gray hair sparkle. If you get a gray hair, then you are clearly at the point of life where you are wise, okay? I have the sparkle. So I have wisdom in a lot of areas, but I also do have tons of kids, and I've been through all the different stages of the kids and things like that. And some of that knowledge, like honestly, some of that knowledge I don't feel like you're going to get from books, even really great books. You just get it from life experience. So lots of life experience. Okay, back to topic. So reacting is going to be the impulsive, the no strategy. Emotions are in control of the situation. Undesirable English, Sammy. Undesirable results and consequences often follow. It is on my profile. I just made it, so I'm not 100% sure. I know it's like Sammy Jules at Gmail maybe, but check the profile because I don't want to tell you the wrong one. I think it's SammyJules at gmail.com though. The other side of that, if you choose not to just react, would be to respond. So responding is going to be a deliberate approach. It's going to have strategy. It's going to have your emotions intentionally on pause so that you can process through. It's going to be very mindful, intentional, and give you those better results that you are wanting for sure. And then let's see. So one of the journal prompts would be to describe at least 2 scenarios from your past where you opted to react. How did those situations unfold? What might have occurred if you had chosen to respond instead? I'm sure we probably all have a few scenarios where we're like, oh yeah, I remember that moment. It could be something that kind of haunted you almost. A lot of people learn this lesson via something that stuck with them, probably in a bad way. Something they said in front of a whole class, and they're like, oh my gosh, I totally regret saying that. I'm so embarrassed. How do I get past that? It may be something at work, at a family event. Like there may be something that you said that you're like, oh my gosh, what have I done? Why did I react that way? Or it may be even just with a partner, things like that, or with a kid where you're like, what have I said? Why did I choose to fly off instead of keeping that in control? Like, come on. So one of the other prompts on here is, in your future, where would you like to begin responding instead of reacting? And you essentially just circle any of the areas that would kind of need some tweaks. I've got plenty of babies. I certainly don't need any more. Plus, I have none in diapers, so I'm all for babysitting and auntie duty. Like, send me all the cute babies. I am the baby whisperer. Babies and toddlers love me, and I can put any baby to sleep. So you guys should probably be careful too, because yeah, I can put anyone to sleep. It's a skill. It's a life skill, but especially babies, probably you guys do. It's not, I mean, if it's something that you're interested in, it's interesting, but if it's not something that you're interested in, you're like, what is this lady talking about? So anyway, some of the areas that may or may not need tweaks, we're just going to run down the list, and you guys can comment too, like if there's any area that you need some tweaks, and I'm happy to give like an example of how you might tweak that so you are able to respond instead of react. I do respond to email. I don't check it every day or anything like that at this point, but I definitely do go in and respond, so for sure. So have you noticed any patterns? Notice that you might need to improve your responding instead of reacting at work or at school, at home, the way you react to your parents. This tends to be like that teenager age, but honestly, it can be any age. Like if you have trouble flying off the handle or just not thinking through what you're saying with parents, that can be a big one, and it can create a lot of division in families for sure. And then on the opposite end of that too, with children, with your kids, with maybe your partner has kids or kids that you are around, all of that. It could be with in-laws or other family members that you may be around a lot, maybe just be around a little, but have you noticed any patterns where you are reacting and just impulsively acting instead of taking that small pause and break and just breathing? Oh my goodness, y'all are silly. Well, hello, Vonley. Hi there. Let's see. What about with friends? Are there certain friends that trigger you or tick you off, or even just certain friends that you kind of maybe have known for a really long time and will just give that impulsive, like right off the grip, like, oh no, I don't like him, or I don't like that, or you don't need to wear that, that type of thing, not realizing that it may have, some longer term results or some negative results that you really had not intended. It may have some result that you were not prepared for. It could also be in your community with neighbors or, people that you interact with, someone at the mailbox, the post office, whatever. It could be anybody. It could be in general public, like when you go to the grocery store, when you go pick up dry cleaning, whatever you go out in public and do, that's a time when stuff comes out too, whether it's you or the people that you see acting crazy in a line, stomping foot in a line, or like being so rude to waiters, waitresses, like how much longer is it gonna take? All of that, like just icky behavior, it happens, and it usually happens from people reacting instead of responding. Just look at the difference in that. So you order a meal, it comes out, it's so wrong. Like, this is not what you ordered. It does not look like the picture, and you don't want to pay that price for what is on your plate right now. So if you were to react impulsively, like, yeah, this is not gonna work, take it back, give me something else. Like, I'm getting up, I'm walking out, I'm done. And then guess what? You're hungry, and then you have to go spend time waiting in another restaurant for more food to get done. You also had some sort of effect on the people around you too. Like it could have been the waitress who now didn't make what she would have made had you enjoyed your dinner and left a generous tip. It may affect, you just don't know what the effects are when you react because you're not thinking about the effects. You're just thinking about your impulse of, this is not what I ordered, this is not what I wanted, give me something else or get me out of here. That's a reaction. If you were to respond, it obviously looks different. So responding may be just kind of dealing with what it is or finding the good part. Okay, I'm gonna pick around the mushrooms that I did not want in this dish and enjoy the rest of my meal anyway. Or maybe there is some small modification. Oh, I'm so sorry. It looks like you guys forgot whatever, the cheese. Like, is there any way this, you could bring that out separately and I could add it? You can be nice and make the best of a situation and still have a good result. You're still eating dinner with the person you're there with, all of that. Still get your good results and you're not causing any negative issues for other people. So that is definitely a win. Let me just set this back down. There were a few more examples in here. So in general public, in traffic, oh my gosh. Yeah, I've been guilty of this one before. One time I was driving to Florida and driving through Georgia, which has like 8 or 9 lanes each way. And when I tell you, I was losing my entire self. Like, I was getting frustrated. I noticed myself like sighing, like, like, what? Like, no, yuck. So yeah, traffic can be a big one for sure. It could be at church, at the gym, like if people are like standing there talking and hogging machines, like that can be really annoying and you can either react or respond. So any of these items, like you can choose, do you react or do you respond? At sporting events, like whether it's your kids or you're going to watch sporting events, like you see people get crazy town, lots of fights and drinks thrown and all kinds of craziness. And when you see the craziness, it tends to be those people who are reacting instead of responding. At restaurants, at shops, pretty much anywhere. This could happen anywhere. So responding is just making the choice to take a deliberate approach and to employ strategy instead of just crazy town. Like, it's choosing not to go crazy town in a situation that makes you feel and want to go crazy town. Making the choice in advance to put our emotions on pause to process what is happening in real time. This can be helpful if you are going somewhere where you already know it's been a problem before, it might be a problem again. If there are certain friends, family members, anything else where you have been essentially, you know, triggered in the past or not felt good in the past, there's a good likelihood that that may happen this time too. And if you know that, you can just decide in advance, like, hey, I am deciding, I am making a choice before I show up at this event that nobody, not one person, is going to take me out of my element. They are not going to upset me. They're not going to have the power to change my mood or choose my mood for me. So I am going to make a conscious choice that when I walk into there, I am the dominant energy. I decide how I feel. I decide what mood I'm in. I decide who I speak to. Whatever it is, I decide in advance that this is how this event is going to go versus knowing, okay, last time they said, this, and this, or they asked me this question and had me so triggered and feeling some kind of way. And this time I'm going to go off on them. No, opposite of that. This time I'm going to keep my peace regardless of what is said. I'm going to employ this certain strategy. Like, for example, if someone that you know is, I will have to look at that. I thought it was on there, like on the main page under the links. I know it has the link to like the Gumroad too, and the Gumroad does have the email. I think it's sammyjules@gmail.com, but it might be sammyjulesdroppinggems@gmail.com. It's one of those two, but I know for sure it's on the Gumroad. So if you don't have Gumroad, it's nice anyway because there's lots of free books and stuff. My free ebook is on there too, y'all. And then the full version of the book will be on there pretty soon. I'm just still making a couple of tweaks. But anyway, one of the super easy strategies that, again, I wish I had known at a much younger age. Someone should have taught me this, and nobody did. If someone says anything stupid to you, like they walk up to you and they're like, oh, pink is not a good color on you. Instead of being like, okay, well, shove pink, whatever. Like, instead of having that natural gut instinct, oh, thank you so much. That's so sweet. If they walk up to you and say something silly, like an insult, if they don't like your dress, or, oh, last time I saw you, your hair looked so much better in this color, or whatever. They just walk up to you on some nonsense, right? Instead of any reply back that would feed into it or give them attention, two of the best ways is to give them confused face, like what? Like, what did you just say? Like, literally act confused, like, what? Or to ask, like, literally just ask, like, what was that? Can you repeat that? With that same confused face. Like, can you repeat that? Because most people, even if they are bold enough to step out of line one time, they're probably not going to do it a second time. They're probably not going to say something rude a second time. It's probably going to take them backward and be like, whoa, hey, oh, yeah, she caught that dig. I probably shouldn't show up like that. I probably should not say that. Like, that's probably not the way I need to approach this person anymore. So it accomplishes not having an awkward conversation, not getting into some sort of altercation with them, but also it kind of teaches them, it asserts that boundary, like, they're not going to play about my mouth. Like, they're not going to let me by with these little slick comments. Like, I'm going to have to wash my mouth with this person. So it's win, win, win. Okay. Let's see. So another of the journal prompts in this section is to journal out at least one example of your old normal. So this is obviously a trending topic too, like with identity switch, with leveling up, glowing up, to kill out your old self to make room for your new self. Some programs will call it like 1.0, your initial, then 2.0, your leveled up self, eventually 3.0, 4.0, etc. Some will call it a new name. Like, they'll say, like, my old self is, I don't know, Cindy. Cindy is the old version of myself. How did she react? She flew off the freaking handle, okay? New version of myself is whatever the new version name is that embodies for you how you want to show up. And I have seen recommended in so many books and on TV to choose a character, like from your favorite movie, maybe from an old Hollywood glamour type movie, maybe from a, any show, any movie, anything that you can watch and see how that person shows up. One of the examples that comes to mind first for me is like when people talk about dark feminine energy, they always say Angelina Jolie because she's very mysterious. She's very quiet. She has that like eye game down where she'll like look away, look away. Like she has it down. She's not saying anything, but she's still being alluring, mysterious. A lot of her like dark clothing, things like that, even though she looks good in the other colors and stuff too. But I almost expect her to be like the dark hair and the dark gown. And then when she'll show up in like bright red or something like that, I was like, whoa, okay. Like, come through, sis. But she has that same alluring, mysterious energy no matter what. So if you catch a character, regardless of what show it's on, and you're like, ooh, like, what is it about her I like, don't just let it be that. Don't just be like, oh, she's pretty. Like, look into it a little more. Be like, what is it I like about her? Do I like how she talks? Do I like how she dresses? Do I like her hair? Do I like her movement? Her, her eyes? What is it? So there are a lot of different influences that you can find so easily. And if you don't have that skill yourself, you probably don't have that skill yourself. To be honest, if it's super attractive to you and you're like drawn to it, it's probably because that's a skill that maybe you don't have and you want to work on. So study that a little bit, learn that, add that to your toolbox. I'm not saying flip and try to be a version of that, but let there be a version of that that is you by intention. All of it wraps around to by intention, because whether we like it or not, we manifest things and we build things and we create things, we create versions of ourselves. And a lot of times they are completely unintentional. They are accidental by us just moving through life quickly, rushing, and not taking time to be intentional and cultivate. So if we can be intentional and cultivate, we can build what we want to build, okay? Oh, hello. Hi, guys. There are like so many things that I missed. I'm so sorry. Let's see. It definitely has a contact page on there too. I will look, but if I click off this, I don't know what it will do to it exactly. So I will have to look up what the email is. Like I said, I've only had it for just a very short amount of time, so I'm not 100% sure on that. Let's see. I don't know what that last word means, but yay for Italy. My daughter is Italian and she is like obsessed. She wants to go to Italy so bad. And I think it would be a really fun like graduation trip or something like that for her. But we would definitely have to get on Duolingo or one of these language learning sites and get ourselves together, because the only thing in Spanish that I am good at, not Spanish, I'm sorry, in Italian that I can do is order my food. And even that would probably be a stretch. Like, it's so much easier for me in Spanish than it would be in Italian, which granted I had like 5 years of Spanish, so I should be able to order my food by now. But Italian I have never taken in school or anything like that, but I love Italian restaurants. So I think that would be like such a great foodie experience. So if I do get to do that for my daughter, I will definitely be looking for some Italians to tell me all those little local spots, because when I travel, I don't want to go to the commercialized place where everybody else is going. Like, I want to go to the spot where the others are not at, where the locals go. Like, I want to go where the locals go. I want to eat and drink what the locals eat and drink every time. It never fails. Like, every time I've asked, even like in Florida, places like that, some of the best places I've ever eaten in life, I found by talking to locals. I'm like, oh, is there any good shrimp spots? Like, where do you go for? And people will always give these amazing recommendations. So yeah, if I'm ever in Italy, I'm gonna find some more of you to ask what I need to be eating and what places that I need to try. Let me see if I can scroll this up. Yeah, some interesting comments in here today, y'all. Keeping me on my toes, okay? Let's see. horses. I live out in the country. I used to have horses. I like them. They definitely are a lot of work. So I like other people's horses, not to have them myself because they require so much care. Oh, I think we may have just had a power flicker. We're supposed to have another storm tonight, so hopefully not. That's like the bad part of spring is it's so gorgeous and then the weather will flip instantly and we'll get another storm. Like it'll be 80 degrees, storm, 20 degrees. We had snow the other morning and it was 80 degrees the day before. Like, I don't know what's happening with this weather, but it's crazy town. Let's see. So back to responding deliberately. I commit to myself when blank happens, I will respond with blank. So that is just something to do in situations that you already know. Like you know you have a meeting coming up and there's a coworker that just gets to you. They always, overtalk you, for example. Something like that where you know it's coming. It's very likely coming. So you can commit ahead of time. When they try to overtalk me, I will restart my sentence. If they choose to overtalk me again, I will begin my sentence again. So you already have a strategy and a tactic in mind for the situation that is coming. That's a really nice way to approach it. But you can use this for anything. Like once you learn how to respond instead of react, life gets easier, like across the board, in relationships, in work, in school, in every social, anything that has other humans involved. If you can learn to respond instead of react, it gets easier. So it is a great life skill for sure. So the first chapter is really just all about reacting versus responding. The second chapter goes into all sorts of strategies and it breaks down some of the super common things again that you'll be seeing all over online, like groundedness. That is huge right now in multiple countries. There are some places who are already super aware of grounding. They've been doing it for years. Think about yogis, monks, things like that. Thousands of years. They've known, hey, you're stressed. Hey, you're feeling disconnected from your body, dissociated, whatever. Take your shoes off. Go stand in the grass. Go for a walk. Go put your feet in the water. These things that have been passed down generationally for ever after are not in our mindsets today because unless someone taught you that, you're lucky and someone taught you, everything now is like, take a pill, here's a prescription, do this, versus some of those really easy concepts like groundedness. And groundedness can honestly have such a crazy effect on your brain. It has the same effect on your brain as taking some sort of prescription item, and it's faster. Same with reframing things. Like when you successfully reframe something in your mind, it takes immediate effect. Your body can relax, your cortisol levels can go down, and you get out of that fight or flight survival mode and back into functioning. And survival mode is another hot topic right now, too. And for good reason. People are waking up to the fact that you can't be creative in survival mode. You can't really win in your relationships in survival mode. There's so many things that you cannot do in survival mode because if your body thinks that a tiger or a bear or some scary thing is chasing you, it's not worried about getting pregnant. It's not worried about writing that book. It's not worried about any of the things that you are worried about and trying to do because your body is focused in on surviving. That's why they call it survival mode. Is there really a bear, tiger, whatever chasing you that's a real like life or death threat? No, there is not, but your body doesn't know it, and its only job is to keep you safe long enough to procreate. That's it. That's all. It's not there for ever after. It doesn't care if you're happy, doesn't care if you're successful, doesn't care any of that. So things like the groundedness, getting out of survival mode, learning to reframe really well, learning active listening, huge, learning to zoom out, solutions, vulnerability, boundaries, all these things. Like all of these are hot topics right now for such good reason because our society has broken away from these natural things that are there. Let me look through the comments again. Thank you so much. Thank you on the nails. These, okay, so this is terrible, but I'm just gonna tell on myself. So, like last Friday, I was supposed to go, or I was planning to go, either get a fill or get a new set. And then I remembered that, I guess it was last year, I had like a super obsession with, I want to do my own nails because I think I had a couple of experiences in the shop where I'm like, I just paid how much for these and I don't even like them. But I was like, I could probably do this myself. And a girl that I follow, I think it's Be Your Natural. She's so adorable, great vibe. She's like a New York girl. She's kind of like Cardi B, but like classy version of Cardi B. I don't know. But she was like, she was on either a live or a video and was like, girl, these press-ons. And I was like, press-ons? I haven't worn press-ons since I was like 13. Like once I got my nails done for prom for the first time, so that would be when I was like a sophomore maybe. I was like hooked from there, like forever after. But I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. And she was talking about doing the press on nails herself and that they last for a couple of weeks. And I was like, you know what? They're like $10. I'm going to try this, okay? But like, look how cute these are. Seriously. I think these may have been a little more than $10. I think these were maybe like, I don't know, like maybe 13 at most. But I feel like they're cute. If I got this set done at the salon, I guarantee it would be like 120, 130, 140, maybe even upwards from there if they put the crystals on individually. But they're cute. They definitely last for me. But I am very intentional about what I have going on, like the day that I'm gonna do them. Like I will purposely like do my scalp massage, everything, shower, all of that. A really good scalp massage though, like when I'm in the shower, because I do not like washing my hair with these. That is the one thing where I'm like, ugh. Not with my like acrylics or anything either though. I just don't like washing my hair with nails on, and I love a good scalp massage. We do have like a little, I don't know if it's called like a comb thing, but it's like a little circle and it has like little brush tips that are kind of like pointy. Not as good as my nails, but it works to massage my scalp, so I can use that, but I definitely prefer nails on scalp. And so I don't like do that. I do it right before I put the set on. And then if there's any like deep cleaning item that I have to do, I usually will wear gloves anyway, but if it's something that's gonna be more strenuous, like whenever last year I planted, oh my gosh, I don't even know how many, like a lot of rose bushes at once, and that kind of thing, like I don't care if it's acrylics, press-ons, whatever, it's just really hard on your nails. So if you know you have some activity like that, do it before you put them on and be gentle. And then also keep them away from water for at least like a day. I don't mean completely away from water because obviously you still have to wash your hands and things like that, but don't submerge them in water. So like if you are taking a bath right after, it's totally fine, but don't put your hands in the water and soak them, because then the glue does not have a chance to dry fully and it's just not gonna be right. Like they're not gonna last as long. They may last a week instead of 2 or whatever that looks like. I got at a point with, I actually have these out right now, these Beatles ones for a while, that it would be like 3 weeks, seriously. And I would not have to take them off. They probably could have stayed on longer than that, but I would take them off because I was tired of looking at them, but they still looked great. But like they have some really cute sets, and a lot of these come with like the little jewels and all kinds of stuff. So I just say that to say the press-on nails are not how they were back in the day. And even in the book, it has a lot of stuff about self-care items, and even in the challenge too, if any of you guys are following along for the challenge, like there's something every single day to just better yourself, pour into yourself a little bit, work on yourself. And one of those items that I'm a huge proponent of is nail care. Like whether it is DIY, you're doing it yourself and you're putting on those press-ons, or whether you're going to the nail salon, it doesn't matter. Or even if you're just not a nail girly and you want to paint them, or maybe even not paint them. Maybe you're not even a clear coat person, but at least have them shaped, have them clean, because people look at your hands. Like it, don't like it, we can argue, but people look at your hands. So it's something that people will notice. And depending on your life season, that may matter a lot to you. It may matter just a little bit. But if you are out looking for jobs, for promotion, things like that, that could be the difference in the first impression or second impression or overall impression they have of you. Like, oh yeah, she seems really smart, but her hands be dirty. I used to do a lot of hiring, and one of the things I looked at first was nails, not to see that they were done, but just to see if their hands were clean, because I knew working in banking that they were going to be handing out cash to customers, and customers would say the craziest things in surveys or just to me on their way out, like, customers notice for sure. But then also, if you're dating or if you're, in a relationship too, like, you don't want to let those parts go. But men definitely notice. And it is not just nails, it is your feet too. Like, do not neglect your feet. Keep those pedicures going. Again, if you need to DIY it, DIY. There are a billion products out there. Like, one of the best pedicure items that you can do costs like $1. If you have one of those foot spas, great. I have one I got for like, I don't know, maybe Mother's Day or something, where it like bubbles. But if not, you can literally get a freaking bowl and do half water or mostly water and 2 cups of mouthwash. Sounds real weird, but I'm telling you, your feet will feel like baby feet. I don't care what age you are. I don't care what gender you are. You can be a man and do this, okay? But your skin will be so freaking soft and very minimal effort. It feels good, obviously, too, to like relax your feet in some warm water, especially if you've worked all day or like had a hard or long day. Like, your feet deserve it. So that's just another example. There's so many things that you can do to feel good, to look good, and those tend to go together. We could argue about this too. People always say like looks don't matter. Well, guess what? They do. Because think about it. Do you feel better rolling out of bed in your pajamas, staying in those pajamas, not brushing your teeth, your hair looks crazy? Or do you feel better if you get up, stretch, start your day, shower, put on a cute outfit, even if you're not going anywhere? I haven't been out of my house today, people. Like, well, I mean, I took my dogs out, but besides that, I haven't been out of my house. I have zero reason to have to get dressed. I could have on my pajamas still and nobody would know. And I mean, I could get on here, like, I'm comfortable. I don't care. Like, I could totally get on here in pajamas and feel the same, because anything about me is not based on a look, it's based on information. So guess what? My personality and information is going to be the same whether I'm in pajamas or this. But I feel so much better if I take the 2 minutes to put a shirt on and a skirt on than I would if I still had on pajamas. So those are basic things, like washing your face, brushing your teeth, your overall hygiene, all of those things we know. Like, it doesn't matter your gender. We know that if you are taking care of yourself, you feel better. Let's see. Let me go through these comments real quick. Yes, Christ is King. I agree. Let's see. I'm reducing the cortisol levels as I speak. Well, that is very sweet. I definitely appreciate that. And I will say that's a real thing. If we listen to people that are calming, we get calm too, because everyone exudes energy. In real life, that's going to be, there's arguments on this, whether it's 6 feet to 15 feet, whether it's just a few inches. The argument is not that we exude energy. We do exude energy, period. But it's how far. That's sort of an argument in the scientific community. And they're making machines and things that track that supposedly. Don't know, don't care. But overall, we know that we do exude an energy. And I personally believe that that is transmitted through social media, video, whatever as well. I've thought that for a long time, because you can't always tell from a photo, because there may be someone who's super beautiful and then you hear them speak and you're like, oh yeah, you are not as beautiful as you were before your mouth opened. Or the opposite end, someone who you look at the picture and you're like, not really attracted to that person, and they start talking, you're like, oh my goodness, you are so sweet, you are so kind, you are so amazing, whatever the great factor is. But I feel like if it's something where you can hear someone's voice, you can kind of feel their energy. And some people are going to stress you out with their energy, and some people are going to make you feel calm or safe with their energy. And one of the compliments that I've probably gotten a lot in life for many, many years is I feel really safe to talk to you. Like, I don't feel I don't feel scared around you. I just met you and I feel like I've known you for a really long time. Like I feel really comfortable. And then even on the other thing, even on one of the lives with the awesome, amazing Dr. B. Cooper was, I feel really heard by you. And I was like, oh, that's such a wonderful compliment because I do feel like I put in the intention to really hear people, not just the words they're saying. Obviously, I active listen, and that is in the book Active Listening, and I am really good at active listening. So if you're not really good at active listening, you probably need the book. But I do think I'm very good at active listening, and a lot of people will say, like, I feel very heard. Like, you actually got to like the core of what I was saying, and that again is intentional. You don't accidentally hear someone. You very intentionally hear people because you have to take yourself off the like off your mind and not be thinking about what your next reply is, not be thinking about, oh, that reminds me of when this happened to me, oh, that reminds me of this. You have to actually zone in and give your energy and focus to them. So active listening, a great skill. Definitely appreciate the compliment there. That's very sweet. I hope I do reduce all the cortisol for everyone because cortisol is like, yeah, the devil. Like sugar, cortisol, all of those are straight from the pit of hell, period. I just, yeah, cortisol is bad, but cortisol is manageable. So is sugar. So yeah, they're way more manageable than just the devil himself because they're just small little versions that if we are paying attention, we can notice and we can change and reprogram and make different choices so that those are not issues. Also, if you are watching and you are having any sort of premenopause, perimenopause, any menopause issues, cortisol is something that if you don't already know about, you need to know about. Go look it up, learn about it. Same if you are trying to conceive, if you want to have a baby, like beyond the getting out of survival mode, keeping your cortisol levels low aligns with that. Because when you're in survival mode, cortisol is high. You're getting that burst of energy, that stress hormone flooding through your body so you can run from the bear, run from the tiger, and your body's not thinking about making a cute baby. It's thinking about living to see another day. So, yes. Let's see what else we have. Gumroad does ask for registration, but it is completely free, and there are tons of authors on there that have free books, paid books, all kinds of stuff. It's kind of like the Etsy for books. And again, I'm a book nerd, so I love Etsy for books. Great idea. And the app is pink, so I feel like that gets bonus points as well. I love that. The book on there too, the sampler that I dropped a couple Fridays ago on Freebie Friday, does show a price to put in, but if you put in $0, it will let you download. Like, you do not have to pay for it. If you'd love to gift me, you are more than welcome. I receive it. However, you can put in $0 because it's just like super short. It's like under 20 pages. The real book right now is like closer to 100 pages and has tons and tons of prompts in it. But that was just kind of a teaser drop to go along with the challenge that, hey, there are things that are so easy that you can do to really level up your life and make your life a little better. If there are things you're not loving, change them. So the book and the challenges right now have been all about that. All of the challenges have been shorts too. So a couple minutes. Like, I've been putting them in the morning and I don't know if that's better. Like, if you guys have opinions, please put that in the comments here too, and let me know whether you're watching the live right now or watching the replay. Let me know what time of day is good for me to drop stuff, and I will certainly try to drop, you know, with what makes sense for people. For me, I thought that the challenges would be good to drop in the morning because in the morning I am usually looking for some way to pour into myself, something that I can do to feel good and have a good day. So I thought morning would be good, but yeah, definitely let me know. I know people, if you're, working a 9 to 5, something like that, then 6 o'clock might be great because, hey, you are on your own time now and you can do those things to pour into yourself now. So either way, well, I don't know what ASMR would be. Like, I feel like when I think of ASMR, I think of I love the sound of like the nails on the keyboard. I love the sound of bubble wrap, but I don't know what other sounds would be like ASMR, but I do like to listen to it. My kids definitely like to listen to it. Like, they especially my oldest one, she's like, "Oh, ASMR, blah blah blah," and it's usually like weird stuff, like water, I don't know, weird stuff, but it is kind of funny. And I do think it can be a mood boost too. Like there are lots of musical frequencies and all kinds of just crazy stuff that our brains just gravitate towards. So always interested in that for sure. Let me see. Oh my, well, yeah, we are just doing the most in the comments today. Yeah, I'm showing plenty of skin. Alrighty, I'm good. Let's see. Yeah, definitely. But they can block and find another artist. There are so many people that would be so glad to be part of that, and that's just not me, not my vibe. I'm good. Let's see. Mm. I went ahead and blocked that user because, yeah, that was all fun. Hello, if you are still on, I'm behind in the comments right now, but hello from Alabama. I have driven through Alabama a couple times when I was going to the beach in Florida. Not much of Alabama, probably that little tiny corner section, but Alabama is pretty. There are some pretty beaches there too. I'm such a beach girly. I should not live where I live. I should live way closer to the beach for sure. But hello from Missouri. Let's see. Okay, I see a question on here. What movies do you like? Favorite movie of all time is probably Love and Basketball. I'm a huge basketball fan. My son is a future NBA player. If you guys were wondering, you can look him up. Great Britain. He's amazing. He's 10. So he's got a little time before you guys will see him in the league. But if the league is still around by then, surely they will want him. I'm super tall, so, and then his dad is really tall too. Like I'm about 5'9", almost 5'10", and his dad's over 6 feet, and he's a big boy. Hopefully he'll get bigger because it helps. But honestly, like basketball has changed so much. It used to be so different than now, and now it's like an everywhere player versus just, you know, just the height. Height of course helps, but it's not just the height. But he is growing, so that's kind of nice, except for to my wallet, because he's no longer, if you're a mom, you know, when they get out of the youth shoe sizes, it starts to hurt your wallet in a whole new way. Like it's no big deal to buy J's and whatever when it's the little baby sizes and they're like $60. Sure, have all the J's, have all the colors, have every single thing on the market, sir. And then all of a sudden it like triples and you're like, wait, what? These were 60, now they're 180 for the same shoe. Why? And then someone evil got my son on Flight Club. And if you know, you know, like Flight Club is crazy expensive. They do have everything. So I will say, like, if there's a shoe you can't find, Flight Club probably has it. But even, I don't know if you guys saw like I think they were the Minecraft Crocs. So when they launched, they were like $50. Just normal drop around $50 for Crocs, right? Well, on Flight Club, within a couple days of the drop, they were $450. And then there were some, depending on, because it does price by size. Like if they have a lot of them, they're going to price lower. If they have just a few, they're going to price really high. There were some that were like 18K. Like I would love to have spent $50 to buy a pair and listed them on there for 18K. Like somebody had a little baby come up, like they hit a croc leg. Okay. So interesting how crazy the shoe game is. Let's see. Do you guys have any other questions or anything that is appropriate before I end the live, kind of going through the chapter 1 item and the main overarching topic of being intentional and being able to respond instead of react. Anything? Well, if not, if you have not already, go on Gumroad. There's a link in the bio to get to that right now. It just has the teaser, but it's totally free. You can put in $0 there and get the download there. I would love any feedback on that. It just has a couple little items that are through the book, and the actual full version is like closer to 100 pages, has all kinds of prompts you can go through, journal prompts, ideas for glowing up. And then if you're not already checking out the daily challenges, I don't know what day we're on now, there's a lot of them in there, but different things, especially if you're a female, especially if you're going through anything. Like if you just went through a breakup, don't sit there and cry. Find something that's going to make you feel happy and feel good and feel more like yourself and kind of reset yourself. Same thing, like if you just had some sort of loss or just sad thing, like a job switch that you are not really wanting, or a sad situation with a boyfriend, whatever it is. Like if you have something in life that's not ideal right now, the challenge can still help you to just find something positive to do with your energy, to maybe take you out of your comfort zone, something that you don't normally do. Just go ahead and try them. And some of it's just basic things that I just firmly believe in, like having a clean car. Like, I don't care if you're a female or a male, having a clean car is such a key to having a good life, I swear. Because if your car is clean, you feel put together. Guess what? If someone needs a ride or whatever else, they're not gonna open that car door and be like, embarrassing. Like, wonder what her house looks like. Ugh. Or whatever else. Like, I have had a guy friend in life say that he has, and I mean, he's a very successful person, and he said that there were so many girls that he kind of canceled out or just like put in a certain category because of their car. It's like, that's really serious. Like, I never would have thought of that. He's like, oh yeah. He's like, that's something that is overlooked, but totally worth looking at, because if you don't take care of your car that you're in every day, you probably don't take care of other areas of your life either. So if you do have a clean car, you're doing well. Congratulations. And go get that car wash membership if you don't already have it, especially because it's spring now and you need it. So keep your car clean, keep your house clean, keep your purse clean, all of that. If you're not already doing it, start today. Anyway, I don't see any more questions, so I am going to jump off. Thank you for everyone who joined. Again, go on Gumroad, download the sampler, go through the challenges. If you guys have ideas for more challenges, if you have any commentary whatsoever, go comment on the videos. If you're a creator and want to do any kind of collabs, anything like that, I'm always game to do like interview style collabs, things like that, for people who are in similar spaces or a space that I'm interested in. So totally game to do that too. And I will like reply to comments, that kind of thing. Like, I will make sure that if you are taking the time to watch stuff and have questions, that I will respond. Of course, just keep it appropriate, because guess who else follows me? My beautiful, wonderful children, and they don't want to see anything gross. So keep it classy, people. All right, y'all. Well, have an awesome day, evening, whatever is for you, and I will talk to you guys soon. Oh, yes, I do. I definitely do. I didn't see anything coming through for a while. Do you have any questions or anything before I jump off? The comments move like really fast on maybe like the bottom fourth of the screen on here, so if you don't see it right when it comes through, it gets kind of hard to miss it. And I totally did not understand that until I had this channel, because there were a lot of people that I followed and I'm like, why do they never answer my question? Why do they never interact with me? I'm like, oh, I totally get it now, because when you have stuff coming through, it's really hard to catch it all. Oh, well, that is very sweet. Thank you so much. I certainly appreciate that. Well, I am going to jump off and I guess feed these cute little kids, because they're probably ready to eat by now, and I want to do that so I can go soak in the tub like I was talking about earlier. So have an awesome night, guys. I will be back soon.